welcome to Life in Envelopes. I am Jennifer Bleecher. On this channel, I break down the very complicated process of budgeting by sharing my personal budget and struggles. I hope to make budgeting more fun and accessible to everyone. We are a low-income family, we do week-to-week budgeting, and we are currently working on paying off debt. Our goal is to one day be completely debt-free. So if that is something that you are interested in, I hope that you will consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a thumbs up. Today we are going to close out the budget for the third week of January, and we're going to set up the budget for the fourth week of January. So starting here with my monthly spread, let's go over all the places that we spent money this week, starting with bills. So first of all, we put $5 towards our garbage bill. We actually don't pay our garbage bill. We pay our garbage bill once every 3 months. So we save up a little bit in a cash envelope every week. So when that payment comes up, it's not quite as big of a deal. We also set aside $10 for Alliant Energy. We paid our City of Ames bill, and that was actually more than I budgeted, and I'm on budget billing, so I think this might be the new amount for the new year, which I was surprised because I thought the amount went down, but I guess it went up. Not by a whole lot. We were paying $174 last. Is that what we were paying? No. Oh my gosh, never mind. That's down by $100. I think what it is, I think what happened was we had money left over in our account from last year, and they just went ahead and took that off our first bill. Yeah, because the monthly amount is supposed to be lower this year because we didn't spend as much as I thought we were going to spend. Okay, cool. That's good because Alliant Energy was way more than what we budgeted. So every week I set aside $10 to pay for Alliant Energy, and most of the year that is enough to cover that bill. But what's happening this month, in these colder months, it's more expensive and it's variable. So we cover some with David's paycheck, and then also the $10 I put in every week, which comes to $40 a month. Unfortunately, though, we ended up paying $125, and I only budgeted $88. So it's good that we didn't have as much money going out here because we need more money to cover this bill. So that worked out nicely for us this month. Hopefully next month it won't be so high. Okay, we also paid our Netflix bill, which was $17. And we paid our Hulu bill, which was also $17. Ooh, that was a big bills week for us. Okay, moving on to debt. So we had 2 debt payments. The first one went to loan number 2. Loan number 2 is a debt consolidation loan that we're paying off, and we pay them every week. And by paying them every week instead of once a month, we're going to be paying it off just a little bit faster than if we had paid them once a month. We're also making a payment every week to our Visa bill. This is the bill that this is the debt that we're currently like giving all of our extra money to in efforts to pay this off as quickly as possible. So we did pay them $60 last week. Okay, moving on to food. We spent $200 on food. That was all of our food for the week. We had 2 grocery store trips, and we had a couple of eating out, and it all came to $200. We also spent $20 on gas, and we spent $20 on miscellaneous items. A miscellaneous item is anything that we need to buy that doesn't fit into one of these categories. Then we spent $50 on spending. That was $20 for me, $20 for David, and $10 for Logan. And we spent $123 on our sinking funds. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead, head over to the worksheets and see how this all works out. See if we're sticking to our budget. So we are week-to-week budgeters with my paycheck, which is variable from week to week. But my husband, David, he is paid once a month, and he is paid a fixed amount. So we cover as many of our fixed expenses as we can with his paycheck. So this week, Netflix came out. It was $17, which is what we budgeted. It was the same for Hulu. City of Ames came out, so we budgeted $274, but it was actually only $180, which is super nice because, like I said, Alliant, the amount that we had to put from David's paycheck was $125. Yes, it was $125. So our bill was actually $165, but $40 of that is covered with my paycheck, which we'll see when we get to the week-to-week budget. So $125. So we still have State Farm that hasn't come out yet, but let's just quickly do a check-in and see if we're going to have enough money from David's paycheck to cover our bills this month. So at this point, we've spent $19.45 on bills. We had $21.28 to work with, and we still have a bill for $125 that we need to pay. So that comes to $20.70. So yes, we should be just fine with our fixed expenses this month, which is always a good thing. Okay, moving on to my paycheck. So the way I'm using my budget book this year is I do my expenses here on this page. I color code everything by budget category, and then I make a key at the bottom of the page. This information is going to be very helpful when I go to close up my budget at the end of the month and I want to do some comparison, like looking at how much I spent in each category this month versus last month. Okay, so for week 3, my income was $600. That is my goal each week. I'm not always able to do it depending on what's going on with the Etsy shop or with YouTube, which are my 2 main sources of income, but I do try to pay myself $600 every week. We also received $30 from Buy Me a Coffee. And last week when I gave those friends a shout out, I forgot to mention Modern Mom Budgets asked me to mention a website, and it's hashtag Vivian RAOK, which stands for Random Acts of Kindness. Her friend's daughter passed away in 2013, and they started this hashtag, and what they want people to do with this hashtag is simply perform a random act of kindness, and then take a picture of it and post it to their Facebook group with the hashtag Vivian RAOK. They might have an Instagram page too, I'm not sure. I just found their Facebook page, but I thought that was such a neat way to honor their late daughter. Wanted to thank Modern Mom Budget for sharing that page with us. Okay, so altogether, we had $630 to work with. So moving on to sinking funds, these were cash envelopes that we actually stuffed last week. So we were able to stuff exactly the amount that we budgeted. So that was 3 for Amazon, 7 for back to school, 10 for birthdays, 10 for car maintenance, 5 for car registration, 25 for Christmas, 3 for Sam's, 50 for vacation, and 10 for vet. So altogether that came to $123. So 630 minus 123 is 507. Okay, moving up to our fixed expenses, we did pay that $142 to loan number 2. That actually comes out of our bank account automatically every week. So that's the first thing that we pay before we do anything else. And then we put aside $5 in cash for garbage and $10 for Alliant Energy. So altogether, this category came to $157. So 507 minus 157 left us with $350 to work with. For food, we spent $200 on food. We spent $20 on gas. We spent $20 on miscellaneous expenses, and we spent $50 on spending. So altogether that came to $290. So $350 minus $290 is $60. And that's how much we had available to put towards our Visa card for an extra payment last week. So we made an extra payment of $60 to Visa, bringing our budget down to 0. Okay, so that's week 3. Let's go ahead and set up week 4. So for this week, I believe I am going to be able to pay myself the $600, so I'm very excited about that. We have another $30 from Buy Me a Coffee donations. I want to give a special shout out and a big thank you to Jennifer and Cheryl for those donations. We never ever expect the donations, guys, but we're always so grateful when we see them, and we try to put them to really good use. So we're going to have $630 to work with this week. So we're going to do cash envelopes in just a moment here. So we're going to put $3 towards Amazon, $7 to back to school, $10 to birthdays, $10 to car maintenance, $5 to car registration, $25 to Christmas, $3 to our Sam's Club membership, $50 towards vacation, and $10 towards vet. So altogether, we're going to save $123 this week in our sinking funds. Sinking funds are expenses that come up throughout the year. We know they're going to come up. We know approximately how much they're going to cost. So we save a little bit every week. So when those expenses do come up, it's not such a burden to pay them. We're prepared and ready to pay them. So 630 minus 123 that's $507 that we are left to work with. Coming up here to our fixed expenses. So like I said earlier, we always pay $142 to loan number 2 right away. Today we're going to set aside $5 in cash to garbage and $10 to Alliant Energy. So all together, we're going to spend $157 on those fixed expenses. So we have $507 minus $157. That's $350 that we have left over. $200 of that is going to go to food. $20 is going to go to gas. So let's come back to miscellaneous in just a moment here. $50 of that is going to go towards spending. Okay, so what we have left over after paying all that, some of that's going to go towards miscellaneous and some of that is going to go towards Visa. So I know for sure I'm going to put $30 from this Buy Me a Coffee towards Visa. So if I did everything right, I should have $50 left for miscellaneous, but let's just double check and make sure that's right. So we had $630 to start with, and then we spent $123 on sinking funds. We spent $157 on fixed expenses, so that left $350 minus $200 minus $20 and minus $50. So that left us with $80. $30 from Buy Me a Coffee, which is going towards Visa right away, and then $50 for miscellaneous. Okay, so of that $50, you guys are going to help me decide how much of that we should put towards our Visa bill and how much we should put towards miscellaneous expenses this week. So the way I do that is every week I ask you guys to pick a number, either 1, 2, or 3, and then we draw that number and put that amount into the bank account. So let's do 20, 30, and 40 as the 3 choices for this week. I'm going to turn them over and mix them up. Oops, dropped that one. Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3. And you guys, this is so interesting. Last week it was so close between the numbers, and this week it's just like so glaringly obvious that number 3 is the winner. So we had 2 people pick number 1, 16 people picked number 2, and 28 people picked number 3. So let's see what number 3 is. I hope it's a big number. I'm trying to pay off this card as quickly as possible, so let's see. Okay, that's good. It's a nice big number. So $30 from our miscellaneous plus the $30 from the coffee means we're going to put $60, an extra $60 payment towards that Visa card today. So that leaves us with $20 for miscellaneous expenses. So let's see what the other numbers were. Number 1 was 20 and number 2 was 40. Part of me just wants to put all the 50 towards it, but I know like logically that's not the smart thing to do because miscellaneous expenses are constantly happening and we need money for that, otherwise I go further into debt. So let's see how much we spent in variable expenses. So we spent $200. So we spent $290 on variable expenses. So $350 minus $290 would be $60. And then 60 minus 60 is 0. And that's what I like to do every week. I like to end my budget at 0, which means I have a place for my money. So I am not going to withdraw the $60 from the bank today when I go to withdraw the other cash. I am going to leave that in the bank so we can make that payment right away. But let's go ahead and track it in the notes section of my book. These are things that we've already accomplished. So we've already saved $1,000 cushion for our checking account. We have $1,000 saved for our emergency fund. And what we're currently working on is paying off this Visa. So this card, once we have filled it up, we will only have $3,500 left on the card to pay. So today we get to add 6 pigs because every pig is worth $10. Last week I forgot to do this on camera with you guys, but I did do it, so it is up to date. If I haven't said it already, don't forget down in the description box below to let me know what number you guys want for next week. Do you want number 1, number 2, or number 3? The amount that I'm able to put kind of varies week to week. I decide that on the week depending on what's going on budget-wise, but lately it's been $20, $30, or $40. Okay, we're getting closer to filling up that card. So exciting. Okay, so I am going to run to the bank, grab the cash I need to stuff these cash envelopes, and then we will do that next. Okay, so today we're going to be stuffing $228. So I'm going to start by counting this and make sure that it equals 228. So we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 92, 5, 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 228. So I did want to mention, I did finally paint my nails. I think this is the first time I've painted them since the new year has started. I used to paint my nails all the time, but I've lately just kind of neglected myself a little bit while I'm taking care of Logan, and I was so proud of myself for actually taking the time to do my nails this week. So in celebration of that, and the color I'm wearing, because I do always get asked, it is OPI Nail Envy in the color Hawaiian Orchid. Okay, so we're going to start with sinking funds today, and we're going to add $3 to our Amazon envelope. So 1, 2, 3, and let's see how much we have saved up for this. This is for like our annual Amazon membership. So we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have $21 saved up for that. I apologize for Morgan Work drinking his water. He's such a loud water drinker. Okay, for back to school, we are going to add $7 to that today. So there's 5 and 6, 7. So let's see how much we have saved up for back to school. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 42. So we have $42 saved up for that. Next up is birthdays. We are going to save $10 for birthdays. So let's see how much we now have for birthdays. We have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. $70. Next is car maintenance. For car maintenance, we're going to add $10 this week. So now we have 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 91, 10, 20, 30. So $130. So this is for oil changes, tires, and any other repairs that come up. Okay, car registration. We are going to put $5 towards that. And we have 20, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, and 85. So we have $85 saved for car registration. Next is Christmas, and we're going to put $25 towards Christmas. So there's 20 and there's 5. So now we have 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, and 95. So we have $195. Next up is Sam's Club, and we are going to put $3 towards Sam's Club. This is for our annual Sam's Club membership. So we currently have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we have $21 saved for Sam's. And then this is our vacation funds. Jacob still owes us another 100 for that. He had borrowed a couple hundred from this envelope to actually pay for car repairs, and he's already paid back 100. So we are going to add another $50 today. So there's 20, 40, and 10 makes 50. This one's so wrinkly. Let's put that a little lower, see if it gets squished down. Okay, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 60, 80, 2, 20, 30, 40, 50. So 250 is coming right along. And then finally we have vet. So we're gonna put $10 towards vet. We have a big annual trip to the vet that costs quite a bit. I think it's about $300 average each year. But this is also to cover any other expenses that come up throughout the year. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 1, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, so I think I definitely need to do a consolidating, yeah. Oh yeah, I can't even, oh yeah, I can still close it. So I will try to get that video out this week so we can make these envelopes a little bit thinner. That will be strictly a cash counting video because we're just going to condense all the cash. But be on the lookout for that video coming soon. Okay, next up is bills. So we are going to put $5 towards garbage. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Again, we are trying to save up $60 for that. Once we have 60, we can deposit it back into the bank account, and then we can pay that bill. And then Alliant, we are going to put $10 aside for Alliant. We now have 20 saved. Once we get 40 saved, we'll be able to put that in the bank and pay that bill. Okay, so bills are done. We're not going to add anything to these this week. I just want to update you in case you didn't know. We do have $1,000 saved for a cushion for our checking account, and we also have $1,000 emergency fund in our savings account. So those are two things that we accomplished last year before we're tackling debt this year. That's our big goal this year, is to tackle debt. So next up is the cash envelopes that I carry around with me in my wallet. So first, I'm gonna get $20. I did not spend my 20 last week, so it's still in there. I don't think I gave anybody out their money. Yeah, I didn't give Logan his money yet either. So I'm adding 10 this week, so now he's got 20. And David still has his 20, so now David's getting 40. I need to remember to give them their money. They usually ask. They must not have asked last week. And then we put 20 for gas last week. We're going to put 20 this week for gas. So now we have 40 for gas, which is about how much it costs to fill up my tank. And then for miscellaneous, we still have that 20 from last week that we put in, and we're going to put another 20 this week. So we have 40. Okay. Oh, and I still have a few dollars to deposit at the bank. So whenever I have money back here, it means I need to deposit that money into the bank. So I forgot to do that when I went to the bank this week. So definitely need to get that done in the upcoming week. Okay, my friends, that is it for this week's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, will you please give it a thumbs up? And I will see you all again next time. Bye, everyone.